There's nothing in the thing, eh? The thing that I sent, there's nothing in it. Oh, waiting for presentation to start. I sent it in the waiting room, but when I click on it, it says waiting for presentation to start. Okay, now it's there. How much money do you think you're losing each month due to inefficiency without even realizing it?
Part check check, mic check, and my microphones are looking good where they should be for the most part. Advanced audio options, input. Okay, check 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 check, mic check. Cool, groovy, awesome. Starting in 5 minutes. Okay, so this audio is recording wonderfully. This over here is recording. We are recording. Yep. No. Are we recording? Yep, we're recording there. Good. Recording there. Good. The note taker's in there. So we're recording in 3 different locations. This is great. Hey, I can see some answers coming in. Oh, wonderful. Mm. Uh, okay. Okay. So far, so good. Hmm? Who did I message that? Mm. Okay. Should see some more people coming in, and I have some text messages to send out. I just wish everyone was in one place. Okay, send that there. Where? What do you? Oh, oh, oh. Yep. Thanks. Great. Thank you. Maria. Okay. Yeah, we can start. We can start letting people in. I guess now that you're putting glasses on, you're funny. Yeah, yeah. You can admit everyone in. Hmm. Um. No, my camera's fine. Everyone can see the presentation though, right? Okay, cool. That's all that matters. Wow, everyone's here at once. This is amazing. This is good to see everybody. What's up? What's up, Curtis? It's all good. Welcome, 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 guys. If you haven't already answered the check-in question, the link has been dropped into the bio, or sorry, in the chat, or you can scan on the screen. All right. We're at 6:30. I know sometimes we have some stragglers. I'm gonna give them a chance to tap in. Okay. Let's see. I know we have like 4 responses right now. Gonna give you guys a little bit more time to fill out and answer the questionnaire. As usual, you know it's gonna be interactive for today's session. Okay. All right. Okay. I think we got some more folks in here. Getting more people messaging, but they can tap in if or when they're ready to. So, first, I would want to say again, thank you guys. Thank you everyone for being here today, being a part of another Millionaire in the Making road mapping session. I do hope that more people get an opportunity to share. Oh, it's happening on my face. I hope more people get an opportunity to share the questionnaire. As you know, I always try and make it very interactive with everyone. So when you do fill that out, you're gonna see how it affects the presentation later on. All right. So just make sure that y'all tap in. We got 12 people in here today. Amazing, wonderful, wonderful group. As the sun tries to completely mess up my white exposure and light exposure here, but it's all good. But let's get things started. So like I said, welcome to another Millionaires in the Making workshop. Millions of dollars, right? Even if you guys were to work minimum wage for your entire life, which I'm pretty sure none of you guys here are going to be doing, even if you worked minimum wage for your whole life, you would still make about $1.2 to $1.4 million across your lifetime. The question is, how much will you keep to make work harder than you do? All right. So with that in mind, today's session is reclaiming your money. Right? A lot of Americans talk about, and finance folks in America talk about how you can reclaim your money, how to reclaim your cash. I've taken so many different courses looking at how I can keep more of my money in my pocket. I know I talked to you guys a lot about paying yourself first, so we can start building our emergency fund, we can start building our living wealthy fund, we can start building these different funds to make our money work harder than we do, right? But there's other aspects and other ways that we can reclaim our funds, and I haven't really seen anything like this that is catered to Canadians. So I wanted to make sure that our team, our folks here are actually ready to rock, ready to go, and that you guys actually have some tangible skills, some tangible tips to actually make things a reality, right? So with that being said, let me get back over here. Cool. So why does it matter? Okay. Now, a lot of folks are working hard, they're making money, but it always feels like your money just disappearing. It's never enough. You always need to make more and more and more just to make ends. And even though you're making more, it still is like, where did my money go this month? Right? So here are some of the things that are happening. And I want you guys to know you're not alone. today we're going to be following two different folks, Ethan and Sophia, and we're going to be following their journey on how they start to reclaim their own cash and reclaim their finances, right? But let me actually, guys, I'm going to close this window because I'm getting completely washed out. Give me 1 second. Man, I love the sunlight, but no one can see anything. So let's keep it rocking. Now, today's webinar is about turning confusion into clarity, okay? And from clarity, we're going to start building some more cash flow. I'm going to show you guys how we can actually find money that we didn't know we had, and or to make it work harder than we do. So here's what you're going to know by the end of today's session, all right? The first thing that you're going to know is you're going to know the 4 hidden money leaks that are draining your income, okay? These are things that are robbing you without you even knowing that you're being robbed, okay? First thing we're going to cover. Then we're going to look at how to shift from hustling to actually being efficient, right? And if y'all saw the check-in question, you kind of have an idea of where we're going to be going with this, right? We're going to use cash flow recovery checklist to reclaim your dollars. So now you could actually go through, and at the end of today's session, everyone's going to get a free checklist, all right, to see what can I do step by step to make my finances more efficient. And then you're actually going to start building your millionaire, your MITM mindset that will actually last. Okay, we're mastering cash fast, guys. So let's keep it rocking. So when we're shifting, we're trying to shift from scarcity to strategy. Okay, a lot of folks do not have a plan, do not have a strategy on how to make their money work harder than they do, and how to make their finances efficient. Okay, and a lot of people are stuck in scarcity. Oh no, tariffs are happening. Oh no, Trump's doing this and that. And they get fearful and think scarcity. But we want to have strategy, right? You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Live within your means. It may sound noble, but it often leads to budget burnout. Okay, living within your means is a very basic, very starter point. I know like Dave Ramsey talks a lot about it. There's a lot of folks that live within your means, and it's one thing to do that, but there's more strategies than just that, because that normally gets us to think more scarce, more fear-based, and we want to think abundance. But we don't just want to be abundance and reckless with our money, right? So there's some things that we're going to look at. Now, scarcity isn't the only path. We're going to look at some other options that we can do. So there's 3 core paths to money mastery. No matter what you do, no matter what approach you make, you're going to be taking one of these 3 paths, okay? We already mentioned the first one. The first path is cut back, okay? A lot of folks say, hey, in order to make this and that happen, I got to cut back on my spending here and there. I got to sacrifice this and that, okay? It's the first thing, normally from a scarce mentality, okay? The next thing that a lot of folks do is they focus on earning more. They're like, let me hustle. Let me go out there, make more money, and they're stuck in the hustle culture, right? And now there's nothing wrong with hustling. Hustling can be one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself. One of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself, so you can actually build wealth. But hustling is not the only way, okay? There's more ways than just hustling. A lot of folks get stuck, and the hustle culture that now exists in our society, the hustle culture that's like, you need to do this, this, and that, and have like 15 different jobs and all sorts of stuff. It's not the best way to go about building out your wealth and building out your influence, okay? So I just want to change the transitions because I really don't like the way it's transitioning. Hopefully this is better, or maybe I have to refresh. The third way is to increase efficiency. This is the actual game changer. When we increase efficiency, we will start to see a change in all of our finances as a whole. All right. So efficiency means keeping more without giving up your lifestyle. Okay. Actually, give me 1 sec. I need to refresh this for a second, guys, because the transitions are just not it. They are not it today. Here we are, back to present. Hopefully it fixed what I want it to fix. Present. Not present and record, just present. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Nope, not that one. Come on. There it is. Okay, there we go. We're going to put this right back here. Okay, cool. Right? There we go. I'm still doing the same thing. I thought I fixed it, but I guess not. So we want to keep more without giving up our lifestyles. All right. This is the biggest thing. This is the biggest life hack that we can do. Okay. Now, here are the responses that we have from everyone. We have 8 responses. So, how much money do you think you're losing each month due to inefficiency without even realizing it? One person said millions. And yes, technically, well, you might actually be losing millions, right? Too much. We have 300, we have 1,000, we have 600, we have a few hundred, we have in the hundreds, we have a little. And one of the things that I want you guys by the end of today's session to realize is you need to be aware of how much money you're actually losing. We have some ideas of what's happening. I know that the rule of thumb is anytime you get paid, revise your finances, see what's happening, see where your money's going, right? That's what we want to do here so we can master our cash fast. And remember, cash is knowledge, attitude, skills, and habits around our finances. Okay, so if you say a few hundred or in the hundreds, you're not too sure, but I want you guys to be sure. So next time anyone asks, you give them the specific answer. Now, here's the power of efficiency. Here's how it can actually shift things for you. Now, Ethan and Sophia didn't hustle harder. They decided to get smarter. All right. They didn't say, hey, I'm gonna start doing Uber Eats and this and that, whatever, pick up all these side gigs. They decided to get smarter. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind with Ethan and Sophia is that they were already high earners. They were making a good amount of money. Okay. But their money was kind of going everywhere. So they focused on systems instead of spreadsheets. Spreadsheets can be so boring. They can be so time consuming, and it may not always be the best fit for you, right? Based on your financial profile, based on your financial archetype or wealth archetype, spreadsheets might not be the best thing for you, right? I know we talked about the archetypes last week. It might not be the best thing for you. It might not be the most intuitive, fluid thing for you, right? So focus on the systems instead. Okay. Efficiency quietly builds real wealth behind the scenes. This, when we keep more money, your wealth will build for you, right? It'll be absolutely wonderful. So we're going to be going over the 4 hidden leaks. All right. Like if you have a pail of water and there's holes in the pail, you're just losing water, even no matter how small, eventually your pail is going to be empty. So we want to try and plug these leaks as soon as we can. So the first one is the CRA trap. Okay, the CRA, everyone's favorite government organization, right? Everyone loves the CRA. I know that I don't. But the first leak is the CRA. All right. Now, what do a lot of people do? So many folks are overpaying in taxes. Okay. The reason why you're overpaying in taxes because you don't know what is or isn't allowed. I believe in next week or the following, one of the upcoming sessions, we're actually going to be talking about building out your family office, which is the key people that you need in your financial life to build and help you manage everything, right? A tax specialist is someone you should have on your team, not just someone that files, but we're going to touch on that in a little bit. But that's the first thing. Tax filing is reactive, whereas wealth building requires proactive strategies. How many people plan for how much taxes they're going to end up paying? How many people are just like, well, it's tax time. I got to go and send in this and that and get my T4s and this and whatever, give it to the person, and then they file it, and whatever I get's whatever I get. You could be proactive. You could choose to pay taxes earlier or whatever ways you want. Now, this is easier if you're self-employed entrepreneur, or you're in one of these spaces. As if you're an employee, it can be a little more difficult, but you can still sit with a specialist and strategist to say, hey, this is how much I want to be paying and or I don't want to be paying. Okay. So when you do that, you'll start to uncover the things you're missing out. Now, one strategy is not paying your kids. Who would have thought that paying your kids, if you have them, could save you in taxes? Now, the main way that you're going to end up doing this is, and I'm just going to jump at it because I really don't like the way these are loading. If your kids help with your business, whether they're doing administrative tasks, social media, cleaning, right? You can legally pay them monies and they will be under a lower tax bracket. This lowers your taxes. You can put things into an RESP for them from like they pay for it themselves, right? Lower their taxes, set up their college fund, set up whatever you need to for them. And because you're legally paying them, your taxes are lower, their taxes are practically nothing. You keep that wealth within your family. Okay. You lowered your taxes in a way that makes sense, that is meaningful. You can write it off as a business expense. Okay. You could actually write off paying your kids as a business expense. They are employees, right? Will they have to file their own taxes? Yes. But like I just mentioned, if you're paying them under a certain amount, you take an extra 10K, 15K that you pay to them that you would have given them already. You make them pay for their own clothes, their own food, their own whatever. They're going to be under the poverty line. So their taxes are going to be like nothing, right? This is a really cool strategy that wealthy families implement. And like I already mentioned, this lowers your taxable income, right? So Ethan and Sophia were able to save about $4,000 per year by doing this. They saved that much off their taxes because they lowered their taxes, paid their kids, had their kids pay out of their own accounts for whatever they need, right? And the insane thing is, there's this guy Garrett Gunderson that I follow online. He's pretty cool because he actually mixes finance and comedy, and I really like that about him because that's something I know my dad and I were both very passionate about comedy. We're both very passionate about finance, and to think that this guy that's like runs a wealth management firm goes up and does stand up, I love this guy, right? But he actually talks about these strategies and how to keep more money in your family. Although he focuses on folks in the States, wonderful resource to check out, right? Okay, let's go to strategy number 2, not using the T2125. Okay, so if you're working from home, you're on a side hustle, someone talked you into joining Arbonne or Vima or whatever, right? You can start to use this when you're doing your taxes to deduct these following things from your house, right? So where's my other slide go? You may qualify for this if you are using your home for business. Okay, now this could be you're meeting with clients at home, you have an office at home, you have a recording studio at home, whatever it is, like you're making candles at home to sell them. You can utilize this to now deduct a percentage of your home, okay, of wherever it is that you're living. I want to see if I can try and fix this one more time. Maybe I can't because I don't like the way these slides are going at all. Like I really don't like it. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Yeah, this one's better. Okay. And thanks for being patient with me, guys, because the slow thing is actually getting on my nerves. It's like, what is happening? Okay, we're gonna slide you. We're gonna close you if we can. Great. We're gonna put this right here. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, thanks for being patient, y'alls. 3 paths to money mastery. We're gonna jump over the 4 hidden leaks. We're on number 2. Great. Oh no, it's still doing it. I thought I just fixed it and I didn't. I'm not. Okay, whatever. So you can claim a percentage of your rent, okay, your internet, your phone, your hydro. If you have a maid, your cleaning, and so much more. You have clients come into your house, write off toilet paper, a percentage of toilet paper and and paper towel and whatever. Okay. You get one of those water dispenser machines in your home and you like to have spring water come to your house and you meet clients at home, great, business write-off. But make sure that you guys are talking to your accountant or your tax specialist to make sure that you're good with all this, right? Even 15 to 30% off of those bills can add up so fast. Okay, it seems like a little bit here, a little bit there, but you really want to think about it as a holistic, as a compounding thing. Okay, this ends up being so much money over time. So much. All right. Okay. So here's some other overlooked CRA strategies that folks don't really get tapped into. Okay. Failing to track write-offs like your phone, your cars, your meals, your gear. Okay. We talked about this before. If you drive for business, you track your mileage, you're going to put up flyers places, you're going to meet clients, you can write off that percentage, right? You use your phone, like I told you guys, I have my 2 different phones. Like, one is just for business, it's the more expensive one. One is just for personal, it's the cheaper one. I'm writing off my business one. Okay. My meals, if I go out to sit and meet with people, right? Then I pay for the meal, I can write off 50% of that. And whatever gear, microphone, lights, like all the stuff, whatever things you need to operate your business are all write-offs, guys. Okay. Now, another thing that folks miss out on is they're not looking at proper business structures. Okay. What is your sole proprietorship? What are the benefits of having a sole proprietorship versus a corporation? What are the benefits of having a corporation? Some people jump to setting up a corporation too soon. They're not even projecting to make over 30K, and they're going to pay higher taxes, whatever other fees come with that, right? But some people just think they can operate a sole proprietorship, but they're missing out on all the protections, personal protections that the corporation can have, right? So, and there's much different tax strategies for either one. Okay, so you want to make sure that if you're starting up your business, setting up your business, you set it up right. Not working with a tax strategist and only working with a tax filer is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make. You need to actually find someone, sit down with someone that's a strategist. They can say, hey, you're projecting to make this much this year. You should probably move this here, move that there, so we can pay less in taxes in a fair way, right? You guys may hear, this is more so in the States, I have to look into it for Canada, but they say if your vehicle weighs over a certain amount and it's for your business, it can be 100% written off, right? But you'd have to sit with a strategist that can tell you, yes, this is a thing. No, that's not a thing, all right? So when Ethan and Sophia went through all of their CRA different strategies, they were able to save an extra 10K per year just from these small tweaks. How wonderful would it be to have an extra 10K in your pocket every year that you can now reinvest, redeploy to build some wealth, build some strategies, right? Build out your future for you, your family, and build your legacy, right? How wonderful would that be? We're going to shift gears and go to leak number 2, okay? The interest rate leak. And this is something that a lot of people really, really, really overlook, okay? Now, it's quiet, it's costly, and it's dangerous, right? Now, debt isn't always bad, but bad interest is. The reason why I say debt isn't always bad, hey, if I see something, if I'm going to buy a property, the house costs, it's worth 200,000, but the market's down and the house is at 100,000, and I take that debt on to purchase that property. I have an asset that's worth 200, even though the market's down right now. And if I have an asset that's worth that and it's positively cash flowing, that's good debt. It's debt that's making me money. If it's making me more money than what I'm paying into it, great. But if you have bad interest, right? We don't want that at all. Bad interest rates will erode any wealth that you're building, right? So most Canadians don't actually question their interest rates. They don't look into it, and it costs them thousands and thousands of dollars every year. You should always be looking to renegotiate. You should always be looking to find better rates and better deals. You should never just settle with whatever it is that they give you. Okay? This is a huge thing. So here's some areas that many people are losing money. High mortgage rates. You're not renegotiating properly or finding the best mortgage for you, right? I know a company that we're aligned with called 812 Mortgage, which has been getting people some wonderful interest rates, absolutely wonderful interest rates on their mortgage renewals. And we've been connecting people with 812, especially this year. So many people are going to be renewing their mortgages. We're hooking them up with them to say, yo, we can get you, but you can get better rates over here, right? So make sure you're always looking around the market to negotiate and do something better for yourself. Credit cards. If you're carrying a balance, you're making a big mistake, okay? We already know that Canadians are spending $1.70 for every dollar that they're making. So imagine on every $1.70 it's on a credit card, you're getting 19.99% interest. This is eroding your wealth, right? Pretty quickly too. Lines of credits or loans with outdated terms. If you had a line of credit from like 20, 30 years ago and everything in that line of credit, I mean, you can still tap in, use it, whatever, but you didn't go back to renegotiate and say, hey, things have changed. Let's see what we can do better. Those outdated terms could really have a negative effect on you. All right. Now, we're not just trying to pay things off fast. Okay. We don't necessarily want to hold on to debt if we don't have to, but we don't just want to pay off all the debts right away if we also don't have to. Right. We have to look at, is our dollar more valuable in our pocket, or is it more valuable being deployed? And what is the strategy that we're going to implement to leverage debt and or use debt strategically, right? So here's how we're going to fix the leaks, okay? Here's the interest recovery moves that we have for y'all. So the first thing that we're looking at is renegotiate or refinance your mortgages, especially in about year 3 if you can, okay? Renegotiate, refinance. Always be looking for the next things that y'all should be doing, yeah? And we have 812 just dropped in the chat, so if you guys ever want to check it out, if you know anyone that's renewing mortgages, they can click on that 812 link and they'll walk them through everything. Okay, it's super quick, it's super easy. But renegotiate or refinance, okay, and do it. Look at what's happening in the markets. You don't have to pull the trigger or anything. You could say, hey, I'm looking at this, it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. If it does make sense, great. If it doesn't, then don't do it, right? You're not forced to do anything. Consolidate credit cards into lower interest products. So if you have a really high interest credit card somewhere, and you have an opportunity to consolidate, say, hey, I'm going to lump this into one payment, lower rates. This way you can rebuild your credit if you're in a bad place, right? Or you can move money from one credit card to another credit card that may be more favorable rates for you or more favorable benefits to you. You can shift things around and make things work for you, right? So we're always looking for different strategies. Build lender relationships before you need money. It's actually so funny. I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and he's like, man, now that I actually need to go and get credit, like I don't have XYZ in place, I need credit, but they won't give me credit. It's like, well, you have to build relationships and get credit when you don't need credit, so that when you need credit, you already have credit. You're not going and looking for it and seeking it, right? That's the trick. That is the thing that you will have to do, that you will have to figure out. It's the main way to make everything work out the way you want. All right. You have to get it, but you gotta stay ready stay ready so you don't have to get ready, which also means go and have things in place before you're desperate, before you really, really need it, because that's what will mess you up. All right. So build lender relationships before you need the money. Boost your credit score to unlock better rates. Okay. If you have bad credit, it's a cyclical cycle, and it's actually crazy because I know a couple folks that help people with credit recovery, credit rebuilding, and all that stuff. Okay, there's something on your credit that doesn't make sense, that's not supposed to be there. Get it wiped, get it fixed. Go in and renegotiate different things on your credit and start to build it so you can get better rates. This will fix your leaky ships, and this is one of the biggest things that will make your life so much easier. Okay, just really building your credit. So Ethan and Sophia were able to reduce $650 a month of interest with one phone call. Okay, they went, found one of the things, talked to the people, renegotiated this, that, and with the other, and were able to reclaim $650 per month. What would your life look like if you could reclaim $650 per month that you're spending on interest? Okay, what could you do? How could you improve your life or improve your current situation with an extra $650 a month in your pockets? All right, let's keep it rolling. So the leak number 3 is the fee leak, but there's a catch, right? So fees aren't always necessarily bad. Some people think that, oh no, all fees are bad, all fees are terrible. Well, sometimes they're terrible, sometimes they're wonderful. It really depends. Now, if you're new to investing and you want hands-off guidance, paying for the expertise can be worth it. But if you're ready to take the wheel, right? If you feel like the fees are slowing you down, you feel like you know enough to go and invest yourself, don't pay the fees. Okay? My screen is weird. Okay, wait, hold on 1 second, guys. What's happening with my screen? Let's see. Let me see if I can fix my screen, guys. Yeah, I'm seeing that it's I know last time when I was doing the sessions, the visuals were really, really bad. And so in an attempt to fix that, yeah, in an attempt to fix that, so this one I'm supposed to close or the other one? I'm trying to fix that up for you guys, and it's giving me all sorts of other wonderful challenges to overcome. So let's see if I can fix this other thing that's wrong on the screen. Thanks for letting me know. What is that? Presenter view. Okay, let's see. Maybe, just maybe. There's always going to be technical difficulties, but it's a part of the journey. Okay, I think this is better. Is that better, guys? It's not showing tabs and stuff anymore. Gotta go all the way back to where we were at. Okay, cool, thanks. So we're talking about fees. All right, so if you feel like the fees are getting in your way and slowing you down from where you want to get to, then you're going to have to make a shift. You're going to have to jump in feet first and actually start taking control of your finances. We have a question here. Do you have to wait for your fixed term to end before you alter your mortgage deals? More times than not, yes. And for more specific mortgage questions, either I will have a specialist come on, because I'm not a mortgage specialist. I just know a couple of things about mortgages. So for that one, yeah, if you guys, you can look at different things and go from there. Okay. So you have to ask yourself this question. Are you in a learning phase or are you in a leverage phase? Okay. If you're learning, maybe it makes more sense for while you're learning to have a pro so you have peace of mind. Okay. You're new. You don't know anything. In fact, you're probably terrible at investing. What's the difference between a stock and a bond, right? What's the difference between like a dividend yielding stock versus just a growth stock, right? If you don't know these things, it probably is going to give you some peace of mind to hand your money over to someone else that has years experience to help you actually do the thing, all right? So you're going to pay an investor a percentage, and that gives you peace of mind. Now, if you're a seasoned investor, okay, and you're like, hey, at this point, I know what I'm doing. I'm comfortable. I'm confident. And you want lower fees, but higher returns over time, by all means, you can start to look at these other tools and aspects to then invest for yourself. Okay. It's just like any service. Heck, you don't know how to make a pizza like they do at insert name of your favorite pizza place. You're going to pay them extra to go make the pizza. But if you worked at a pizza place for how long, you're going to probably just make it at home. Say, yeah, I know how to do this and that. I make it from scratch. Why am I going to pay someone else? Right? And you can customize it and do all the things that you want for you, right? That's the best like example that I can say. So the main key is just to align with where you're at in life, is to look at yourself, say, this is where I am, and just be honest with yourself and say, well, I'm a new investor. I should pay someone so that I don't mess up my investments. Or I'm a seasoned guy. I don't need someone else's help. Great. Just align with where you're at. So here's how we plug the fee leak without losing value. So I did mention a little bit of like, if you're a beginner or you're more seasoned, what you could do, but let's get a little more in depth on that. So ask why you're paying, okay? Or what you're paying and why you're paying it. Super important. If you're working with an advisor or any sort of financial specialist that is either fee-based, maybe they're fee-based, maybe they're a one-time flat rate, maybe they're a percentage of assets under management. Who knows? There's a lot of different ways that folks in the financial industry get paid for their services. Maybe you pay them nothing up front and they have a trail. So at the end, when you take the money out, they get paid then. So they're growing you give them 2, 3, 4, 5%, and they don't take it out and they grow that 5% with you. So as you're retiring, they're retiring. Maybe that's what some folks are doing. Or other people set it up as a front end. So it's like, hey, I'm going to take 5% right off the top from the beginning. And then whatever your money grows and does, it's just whatever it does. I already got paid for my work. Although they'll continue managing it for the lifetime of that relationship, which can be a pretty good deal. Or some other folks say, hey, it's a flat fee. We only we'll only accept people making, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 million, or we're going to charge you like 10, 20K once. Or anytime you need us to adjust things, and they just take whatever rates, right? What are you paying and why are you paying it? So important to know, right? Just like on the entire roadmap we've already talked about in the past, when you're building a roadmap, you need to know where you are, so you know where you're going. And a part of knowing where you're going is knowing what's ahead of you and why is it important. Okay, so make sure you ask these questions. Consider low fee ETFs, index funds, or robot advisors. Okay, right now with AI and different resources and tools that are out there, guys, there's so many resources out there. Okay, so you can look at these other things to then say, okay, this is where I can start putting money. I feel like I'm seasoned enough that I could use these resources and tools. But if you're a very beginner, you got to learn before you earn, right? So something to keep in mind. Try self-directed investing if you're ready to learn. And I mentioned this to a lot of my students, but I tell them, guys, if you want to start learning how to invest now for yourself, start with paper stocks. I believe TD Ameritrade, if I'm correct, has something called Thinkorswim, and they let you invest with paper stocks first. So you can start to learn about the stock market, start to see, hey, I chose this stock, I chose this much, I did this, this option, that option, whatever your strategy ends up being. And you can start to test out your self-directed funds without risking your actual money. And you can start to say, hey, what is a paper stock? A paper stock is like, it's like a fake, it's a fake account. It's a paper trading account. So you're not actually trading with real money, but you can build portfolios. You can build out whatever it is that you need to build, and just practice without risking your money. Because some people decide to hop into the market and practice and risk all of their money, but sorry, maybe not paper trading, right? Not paper stock, paper trading. Okay. And so then you can practice and do that thing before you risk any of your own cash. And if you start to see, well, my strategy works, I know when I'm entering and exiting the market, I know my investor profile, right? I know my archetype, I know what things that I'm comfortable in investing in, and I've had a really good track record so far, I'm going to start putting my own money in the market. Okay. This is what you would start doing if you're doing self-directed. That does take time. Okay. And time is of the essence. So maybe in the meantime, y'all get set up with someone that can help you master your cash fast and make your money work harder than you do sooner than later, like I did with Paul, right? I don't know if I told you guys, Paul wouldn't let me touch my money for like the first 5 years when I was investing it. He was like, he protected me from myself. When I wanted to go in and say, oh, my dog got hit by a car, I'm so sad, I need the money to take her to the vet. And he's like, nope, figure it out. Like, and at the time I'm like, Paul, are you evil, bro? Like, my dog, she's like dying. And he's like, no, figure it out. And I figured it out. I figured out other ways to get the money. And he was like a gatekeeper to protect me from myself. And that allowed my money to compound and continue to grow without me messing it up. All right. So these are things to keep in mind. So even a 1% fee saved could be hundreds of thousands of dollars over time. So make sure every dollar you're actually spending, right, is buying value and not just familiarity. Okay, we're always trying to put every dollar that you make, pay yourself first and make your money work harder than you do. Every percentage that gets taken off, it can work. It is taking away from you, right? So you have to be aware of that balance. How much do I need for me? How much do I need for growth? How much am I going to pay to someone to manage for me? Because I don't know left from right. And eventually, if you know left from right, you start to do things yourself. Okay. So those are the first 3 leaks. And now we're looking at leak number 4. Okay. Leak number 4 is the coverage leak. You think you're covered, but are you really? Are you really covered? Are you sure that you're covered? Are you sure that you're sure? What does it even mean to be covered? Well, a lot of people have outdated insurances. Okay. A lot of people have outdated insurances that don't serve them and don't help them get to where they want to get to with ease, with finesse, with like, just, you're not getting there. Okay. It might be the wrong insurance types for you. Maybe you got a term insurance when you're young, but now you have a family and you have house and mortgage and other stuff, and that term just doesn't make sense for you, right? You need more. Or maybe you got a big, huge policy, but it didn't make sense for where you're going in life. And you need to make sure that your coverage aligns with where you are in life, right? So Some people are overpaying for coverage they don't need, while others are underpaying when it actually matters the most. Okay, you just had a kid, you probably need to have some sort of insurance to make sure that, heaven forbid, something happens to you, at least your kid's taken care of for the rest of their life, or at least until they're like old enough to take care of themselves. Okay. So this is specifically not just a financial leak, it's actually a liability landmine. And even when you look at insurance, it's not just about life insurance, it's actually about all of the insurances. Okay. So some folks paying monthly for policy that they've already outgrown, massive problem. Duplicating coverage across providers, massive problem. Okay, why are you paying twice for the same thing? Okay, and what does paying twice look like? Maybe you have a credit card that has some sort of travel coverage, some sort of car insurance coverage, and then you go and travel and you rent a car, and then you pay more for car insurance for the car that you just rented. But you're already paying from your credit card because it's a part of whatever fees may come with your credit card. You're already paying for the car insurance on your rental car. So why are you going to go and take more insurance on the next thing, right? So duplicate coverage sometimes does not, well, always will not serve you, all right? It's not good to have duplicate. And not having umbrella insurance for lawsuits or major claims. Okay, umbrella insurance, it actually, and it's so wild because I learned about this recently, which was pretty cool because I didn't know about it before. So I learned about this very recently. And umbrella insurance says that, hey, you have, let's say I have car insurance and it's like $1 million liability, but then I get into an accident and there's some sort of car pileup that I've caused or whatever happens, and I need $3 million. Well, I'm short $1 million. If you have umbrella insurance, it covers what your initial insurance doesn't cover. So now a lawsuit comes along, you, instead of just having the 2 million, maybe you have 5 because you have the first 2 under your regular car insurance and you have an additional 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever the number is under umbrella insurance. Now, umbrella insurance is less expensive than the original insurance because it's just a supplemental. It may never actually come into play. But you have that protection in case something does happen, okay? In case a lawsuit, major claim, or something happens. So when Ethan and Sophie went through all of their finances, they went through all of the different insurances they had, all the coverages they had. They can see which ones they could cut. They can see which ones they needed, right? And even though they were paying $250 a month, at this point, they were still exposed. They're exposed to risk. And the whole point of insurance is to lower your risk exposure, right? So how do we actually upgrade your protection and save cash at the same time? Well, let's get into that, guys. Bundle your home and auto, right? And this is kind of basic, but some people don't think about it, right? Anytime that I'm shopping around for car insurance, I'm like, yeah, make sure you put my renter's insurance, my home insurance in with that, right? Because it's so cheap. It's like sometimes $16-20 a month, but it drops my actual car insurance by a significant amount. So I'm like, hey, this is great. So you can save up to 20%, sometimes some places even more. But on average, you can expect to save like another 20% off your car insurance. So it's absolutely crazy when I'm talking to young folks and they're saying, I sound so old saying young folks, but I'm talking to younger people and they're like, yeah, I'm paying like $600 a month on my car insurance. I'm like, how is that even possible? Now, if they're renting with roommates and they're like, hey, I'm covering the rental insurance for $20, but they're taking 20% off their $600 car insurance, they're saving a good amount of money, right? They're saving about what is that? What, 100? No, like $60, something like that. Anyways, my math is slow today, guys. I'm very tired. Okay, you can raise your deductibles for lower premiums. Okay, so if you have like a beater car, you're not really in a place that you're too worried about the initial amount that you'd be paying, you raise your deductible to lower your premium. And because we have our emergency funds, right? Because we have money placed elsewhere, and because maybe we can allocate the difference, the delta between what we were spending and what we've lowered it to, we can put that money into a place to actually start saving, to start making it work harder than we do. Those lower premiums could work on your behalf. I'm not saying raise your deductible to get lower premiums so you can go and buy a more expensive car so you can go on vacation. Okay, We want to reallocate the cash that we're capturing. We found some more money. We're already paying for the thing. Hey, safe driver, have emergency fund. Maybe I end up saving $2,000 per year or more because I increased my deductible amount. And congratulations, you're a safe driver. You never got into any problems. You saved an extra 2, 4, 6, 8, 10K across X amount of years. Get in an accident, you're like, I got to go 2,000 out of pocket. You're still up 8,000 because you saved that money and put it into place during that time, right? So raising deductibles sometimes may feel risky, but it's only risky if you're not prepared. It's risky if you don't have your emergency fund set up, if you don't have maybe a whole life insurance with some money tucked away so that, hey, something happens, I have cash that I can pull out and utilize, right? This is a pretty cool one. Add umbrella coverage for more protection and less cost, right? So, hey, now we've raised our deductible on our car or home or whatever insurance is, and then we have our umbrella coverage. That's a little bit, that's less. That now helps balance out the differences, right? Doing an annual insurance audit. Like, we should be reviewing. I check my insurance every single year, and I start calling around different places because I like to make the insurance companies fight with each other to give me the best rates. Okay. I call one place, I'm like, yeah, this place said this. Okay, cool, thanks. Call the other place, hey, this place said that. And I just get them to battle with each other to give me the best price possible. But you should annually do an audit. Say, how much am I spending and why am I spending this much? Right? Just like how I tell you guys, you should be checking when you're getting paid from your work, because sometimes they're not always accurate and they're not giving you the right amount of money that you should, right? Keep your mind on your money and be aware of where it's flowing and going, okay? So when you start to reclaim your cash, you're also reinforcing your safety net, and we're doing this at the same time, okay? We saved 20% on our auto, right? We increased our deductibles, so now we're paying even less on the actual car. We put the difference into investment accounts, okay? We got umbrella coverage to kind of cover if we need more coverage, and every year we're reviewing. Has this plan been working for me? How much money was I able to save and put into action in other places? Okay. Do I feel safer? Is this strategy? Because mind you, guys, this is always strategy. Does this strategy make sense for me where I'm at in life right now? Okay. What shifted? So we're able to reclaim and rebuild. Okay. So the next session, those are the, what did I say? The four drainers. Okay. We covered the 4 drainers. Next, we're going to talk about the ignorance tax. Sometimes it pays to not know, or it doesn't pay to not know. It's expensive to not know. That's what I'm trying to say. It can be very expensive to not know the thing, guys. All right. So strategy over struggle, always. Strategy over struggle. It doesn't have to be hard if you planned ahead. Okay. We talked about vision casting before. If you can look far enough into the future and try to predict what will or won't happen, try to be ready for what may happen, and make strategies for the different situations that may come up, you will not struggle, or you will struggle much less. Okay. You check the weather network, you said, hey, this spring, or you look at farmers' almanacs, hey, they say this year is supposed to be a very wet year. I think I'm going to dig in my storage unit for my rain boots. I'm ready. I made a strategy. If it doesn't rain, at least they're in a closet that's easier for me to access. So if it's raining cats and dogs, I don't have to dig through everything to get what I need. Okay, strategy. We're not trying to struggle. Okay, life is but a dream, guys. So you can be the hardest worker in the room and still lose. Just because you worked hard doesn't mean that you're going to get anywhere. Now, why? Why can you be the hardest person in the room and still lose? Because effort without direction equals exhaustion. Okay, you don't know where you're going, but you're paddling like a madman against the current with no plan of where to go. You're just going to be tired. Just wasted your time. Okay. Our goal is never to just hustle. The goal is to have intentional momentum with everything that we do. Okay. We want to move quick in a direction. We want to be that bow that's been drawn back and shooting straight at our target. We want to be a laser focused. We don't want to be like a light bulb that's bouncing light all over the room and has no power. You want to be a laser that can pop the balloon from, I don't know, across the football field or whatever, right? We want intentional momentum. And this is a writer downer, guys. With anything you're doing in life, whether it's fitness, whether it's finance, whether it's building your dream life, intentional momentum will get you farther. Okay? You'll be blessed with intention if you have intentional momentum, right? So what does struggle actually look like in real life? Talk about struggling. We've been talking about struggling. What does it look like? So you're making money, but these are the following things you're going through. You're overpaying in taxes. You're paying interest on interest. Okay? Your interest is compounding against you. Interest will either work for you or against you. And we want it working for us and never against us. So if you're struggling, you may be paying interest on interest on interest. Okay? You're paying high fee investments. You have no idea what the fees are for or why they're there, why they exist, and you're paying the highest ones. And you think you're covered, but you're not. You think that you're covered in all these aspects of life. You're not, though. You think that the coverage that your work has for you is enough? I can tell you that it is definitely not enough. It's definitely not. Okay? You think, like, we can look at all these different aspects of our lives and say, well, no, this works, that doesn't work. This works, that doesn't work. Okay? And we're struggling because this is what 90% of people that fail with their finances, this is what they do. All right? This is the ignorance tax at work. Okay? If you're ignorant, it's the tax that you will pay. Not that you might pay, that you will pay. Okay? So, strategies catch leaks before they happen. Strategies let you see the future before it happens. Okay? And you plan for it before it happens. Strategy gives every dollar a job. Back when we were talking and touching on budgeting, we said that every dollar that you make, every dollar that flows through your hands has a job to do. And the number one job for that money is to go out and make you more money. Okay? Whether that's I need to go to this networking event, whether that's I need to go and buy this coaching or that coaching, whether it's I need to develop and level up my skills so that I could actually be seen at work and appreciated for what I do, or leave my job and go somewhere else, get a better job. Having a strategy gives every dollar a job. Okay? Every single dollar. One of the most important things we could ever do. Strategy makes actually attaining freedom predictable and not just an accident. When you start to plan, when you start to say, this is where I'm going, this is my intention, this is my vision, my mission, my dream, and this is how I'm going to do it. This is what I'm going to have, do, and be, or it was be, do, and then have. Now it's predictable to make your dream life a reality. You're not just guessing. Okay? You're not just guessing. And also, you're not just working hard anymore. You're having intentional momentum, guys. Okay? That's what this does for us. So we're trying to build wealth on purpose and not by chance. Okay? Part of this is being ready for opportunities that will come up and will pop up. In the next little bit, I will be inviting some folks on to share some really great opportunities with you guys. And you got to be ready. Okay? We want to build wealth on purpose. We want to be getting 20, 30, 40% returns if we can. Okay? But we also want to make sure that we're eliminating as much debt that may be around and eliminating the hustle for the hustle's sake. Okay? So the next thing is you need a team. You don't just need grit. Okay? No man is a mountain. No man is an island. And I'm not sure of anyone that can just scale a mountain without different supports in place. You don't have your ropes. You don't have your carabiners. You don't have your pack. You don't have all of those items are your team. And even having a guide, which will help save you time. It's all your team. Okay? So every successful entrepreneur, athlete, or millionaire has a team. I guarantee you. Like show me a high level athlete that just showed up on the court, showed up on the field and just made it work. That didn't have a physio person, that didn't have so many different coaches, that didn't have personal trainers, that didn't have other people that were like, tell me if you guys know someone, please put it in the chat, and I want to meet this person and get some game from them. But I can tell you 100% that there is no one that has made it without a team. Okay, and we're not talking about cheerleaders. No, we're talking about coaches, advisors, strategists, people to say, these are your next 5 moves. This is where you need to go. These are your blind spots. This is where you're weak. This is where you need to be stronger. And this is how we're going to help you get stronger and become stronger. Okay, you actually need a team to get to where you got to get to. Okay, now why? Why do we need a team? Why is it important? Well, solo effort has a ceiling. You only have so much energy to do things by yourself. You can only get so far by yourself. You're not going to be able to get to where you actually want to go if you try to go at it alone. It's just not going to work out. Maybe you can get 50% there. Maybe you can get, 80% there, maybe. But will you actually be able to get 100% of the way, and maybe even get 200 or 300% of the way that you didn't even know was possible? We go so much further when we're together. We go so much further when we have people that support us and work with us, to say, hey, keep your head up, you got this. Or say, hey, you're messing up, you dropped the ball on this, do better. We're so much better when we have people in our corner to help us become who we need to become. So your solo effort, it can get you very far, but it won't get you the whole way. You need some people on your team. And the smarter your team, the bigger the empire that you will be able to have, the bigger the dream that you'll be able to create. Heck, I even say, guys, I would just be a dude in his office by himself talking to a camera. But with you guys here, and I'm sharing with y'all's are the team. We're the millionaires in the making here, right? And we're going to go further together than any of us could ever have gone alone, right? So let's keep it rolling. So here's your financial game plan. Guys, we're almost at the end, all right? Here's your financial game plan. Your money needs direction, just like your fitness. I tell you guys, fitness and finance are the same. Oh, perfect timing. If I can see it and believe it, then I can achieve it, from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Perfect timing. Fitness and finance are the same, guys. So just like your body needs direction and your workouts need direction, okay, just like all of that, what's happening? You also need to make sure that your finances have a direction, okay? So a solid plan will help you do the following. 1, it'll help you catch leaks early. Okay, you have a plan. You can see when things are not going right. It makes it easier to say, hey, this is not going right. You're starting to turn your income into actual wealth. So far, Ethan and Sophia have been saving a lot of money and being able to re-implement it and have it work harder than they do. You're starting to build a foundation for long-term freedom. Okay, with a solid plan, you will escalate and go up the 11 stages of wealth much faster. You save 600 there. You save 200 there. You save an extra XYZ there. Just by restructuring and having some strategies, you save thousands on tax strategies. Now you start to find, where is this money going to come from for me to reinvest into my family bank, into my infinite banking, into my emergency fund, into my living wealthy account, because we got to live wealthy, guys. Where's the money going to come from? Well, we have strategies, guys. And with the strategies, we're taking the guesswork out of growth. So our next step is to start to build the cash recovery mindset. I've given you guys a lot of the tools so far, but what's the mindset now? It's not about what you earn. It's about what you keep, what you use, and what you grow. That's what it's always about. It's never just about the money you make. I mean, making more money makes it easier, though. Like, I'm not going to tell you guys making a lot of money is terrible. But if you can keep more and grow more and use the amount that you have strategically, life will be so wonderful. I tell you. So This was what Ethan and Sophia actually broke through with. Okay? They realized this. They realized it doesn't matter how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. And so, income stopped being the focus. Impact, retention became the new goal. What is the impact of every dollar coming to me? What is the retention looking like for every dollar coming to me? How did I go from 1% to 2% to 5% to 50% of retaining my income to 100% of retaining my income? Which sounds insane, but I can tell you that it's possible. Once you hit a certain level of wealth, you think that these billionaires are actually spending a dollar of their own money? They have assets that they leverage and they don't spend any money. They keep 100% of their income, leverage debt, have massive life insurance policies that they take out, and then when they die, everything's paid for. You can save 100% of your income with a strategy. Just no one told you guys that. Everyone tells you go to school, go get a job, work till you die, and then maybe enjoy 10 years of your life. Maybe when all your bones hurt and everything feels terrible, right? It doesn't have to be like that at all. You can save 100% of your income, and that should be the goal. How do I save 100%? So they didn't grind hard. They built systems that caught money before it leaked. Freedom came from flow, not force. The freedom's in the flow. Although I guess the Star Wars lovers will say the freedom's in the force, but we don't force it. We don't force nothing. We just flow. We let things work through us and come to us, right? So here's more of the mindset. This is how millionaires think. They plug the leaks early. I mean, this one's kind of a given at this point. They plug the leaks early. Before anything else happens, they've already plugged all the leaks. Pat on the back. Good job, millionaire. You just kept more of your money. You retained more of your money. They maximize every dollar. They're looking at where their money is going. They're looking at how their money is operating. And they make every dollar work even more. And they see it, hey, can I make this dollar work again? Oh, this dollar over here, these dollars over here, we're bringing back $5 more every time I put them out. I need to put more dollars into that place. Oh, these dollars over there, they're losing 20% every time I send them out. I got to pull them away from there. You start to balance it out and see what makes sense, what doesn't make sense for me, for my life, for my vision, for my mission, my purpose. Maximizing every dollar, okay? Automate smart money moves. Listen, guys, you'll find that some of the wealthiest people in the world are some of the laziest people that you'll ever meet. And I used to make jokes about this all the time, say I'm probably one of the laziest people that you'll ever meet. But it's because if you don't have to think about it, if you don't have to think about what's happening with your cash and it's automated, well, our monkey brains don't mess it up. Okay? If you automate your smart money moves, our monkey, reptile, emotional brains don't get involved and it just goes. Things just happen. All right? And that's a wonderful thing. A millionaire mindset is funding growth and not just bills. This is where I mentioned, hey, sometimes you need to reallocate money into developing yourself so you are more than you were. You can become more than you were, right? For me, I did a online marketing course. I think I spent like $3,000 the first year, and every year I spent another $3,000 on this thing. And the amount of things that I've learned from this one course and developing out these skills that I've been giving to other businesses has made me so much more money. I funded my growth instead of just my bills. In fact, the first year I'm like, I could pay rent or I could pay for this course. And I said, I'm going to pay for this course and I'll figure out my rent. And I figured it out and made it work. And that course paid me way more than my rent ever did. Okay. So fund your growth and not just your bills. Make sure you guys reinvest in yourselves. Once you reclaim your money, here's how we're going to put it to work. And what do I feel like this is? So invest in assets that grow, right? I'm actually going to just jump to the end because there's a lot going on here. Reinforce your foundation. Make sure your emergency fund is strong and stronger and stronger. Okay. The goal is to have 10 years of emergency fund, 10 years. Fund your development. Okay. You are your greatest asset. Before you put money anywhere else, think about you. You are your greatest asset. You're always with you. There's no government that can take away what's in your mind unless, I mean, you know, they do something really dark and gruesome, but we're not going to go down down that road, right? Scale your brand. Everyone in here is a personal brand. Okay? Whether you think you are or not, you are a business. You are a business selling your services to whatever company you're working for. Or you're a business going out into the world to build your influence. Scale your brand. This is how you can make even more money. If you're a fitness trainer and you build your personal brand and you're known globally and you're like, hey, I want to work at this gym over here, and that gym is very excited to have you, they will pay whatever you ask because you're known. You're in finance, you're an analyst, but you write all these articles online on how whatever, you become a key person of influence, which is a book that I'm plugging, guys. Key Person of Influence is a great book. Now all of a sudden, you can demand whatever price you want. And it's in any field that you're in, whatever field that you're in. Heck, if you're a chauffeur, you're a driver, you build your brand to be one of the greatest drivers. Like, I don't know if you guys watch those YouTube videos or have seen them of folks that are like the Uber drivers that have like the party cars. And when people hop in those cars, they're so excited to be in the party car. They built their brand. So no matter what you're doing, whether you're a CEO or you're a garbage man and anything in between, and not to say that whatever, you know, build your brand, build your business, and build your set of skills. Okay? Every dollar you recover becomes a power play. Every dollar that you bring back into your sphere of influence becomes a power play. Okay? Let's take a look at Ethan and Sophia real quick and see what they were able to do. Okay? They were high earners, but they still felt broke. You'd be surprised how many people make a lot of money and still feel broke. They were able to save and recover, not even save, recover. That's the key word here. Over $10,000 per year without sacrificing their lifestyle because they went in and they reviewed strategies. They looked at different strategies and started building out systems so they could recover that money and stress less. Okay? Life doesn't have to be stressful. They didn't just work harder, they worked wiser. And I want everyone here to start working wiser. So here's a checklist. And actually, I think this is the one. Oh, is this the same thing? Our MITM recovery checklist. Yeah. So I believe this has already been dropped in the chat. I suggest you guys grab it while the link is there. Okay, save it. I'm not sending this out to anyone that's not in this call today. Okay, this is just for you guys. So grab the cash recovery checklist, audit your leaks, run a strategy scan, and take your first wealth building steps today. This is free. This is something, there's not that many questions to even go through, okay? But at least you could start to see, just like how Ethan and Sophia had to go through their steps and say, this is working, this is not working, did I even do these things yet? Did I even think about these things yet? It'll be a great, easy way for you to do a self-audit, for you to do a self-check, okay? Just to make sure you're blessed. And it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5 people are in there right now. Great. So y'all should be able to see section 1, CRA leaks, section 2, the interest leaks, the fee leaks, the coverage leaks, and then a couple power moves that we didn't talk about today, but are in there for you guys that are in there. Okay, so make sure what you're going to do is you're going to click file and make a copy so you can save your own copy of it. Okay, don't ask me to edit this. Don't ask me to send you, don't ask me to share or whatever. Go into it, click file, make a copy, save a copy for yourself. Okay, I will not be sharing this with anyone else after the fact, so this is your one chance to get it. All right. Okay, now we're gonna do a quick knowledge check. You guys can unmute yourselves if you would like to say it out loud. You can drop it in the chat, but as you guys know, I love to hear your voices whenever possible because I feel less lonely. But the first question is, which CRA form allows you to claim business use of your home? Okay. Is it A, the T777, B, the T2125, C, the T4A, or D, the T5013? Which one do y'all think? Vincent says B. Let me see. We got 13 people in here. I want to see some more. Jesse says C. Rosa says technically B. Okay, we got B. We got C. Okay. All right. Is that everyone? Let me see. We're going to do a quick drum roll, please. It doesn't work virtually as well. It works in the classroom wonderfully or in person wonderfully, but. All right. The answer is B, the T2125. Okay. This is the one that will allow you to claim business use of your home. Okay. So keep this in mind, guys. If you do any business use in your home, I still will always tell you, check in with a tax specialist, talk with your accountants or whoever. Okay. If you haven't already connected with Rose, I will connect you with Rose and you can talk with her. She's absolutely wonderful. One of my favorite people. Okay. She's great at taxes. She's very thorough. She's very responsive. So, and this is a form you can ask her about and have conversations. Okay. Okay. Here's the next question. Knowledge check for y'all. What is the interest leak primarily caused by? Is it high income taxes? Is it low credit scores? Is it unused insurance coverage? Or is it poorly negotiated debt and borrowing terms? What is the interest leak primarily caused by? And feel free to shout it out or drop it in the chat for me. We have C. We got A. We say A. Okay, Deb says A. Vincent says A. Was that Anthony? Said D. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. What is the right answer? With a drum roll, please. I need to find a way to make like drum sounds. I wonder, can I? Is it? Thank you, thank you. Hey, you guys are amazing. The answer is D. Poorly negotiated debt and borrowing terms. Because interest is tied to borrowing money and debt. Okay, so if you don't negotiate properly before you go in, like guys, when I got my first, not my first car, my second car, I went to the car dealership. I had no idea what I was doing at all. Okay, I kept asking them, yo, how much is this car? Like 225 bi-weekly. I'm like, no, but how much is the car? They're like 225 bi-weekly. I'm like, but how much is the car? Like 225 bi-weekly doesn't tell me nothing. How much is the car? And they show me one number, like, oh, it's only 20,000. I'm like, oh, 20,000? Okay, 20,000, 225 bi-weekly, even at 10% interest. Okay, cool. And I paid like 15K the first year towards the car, but I didn't realize many pages in it's 225 bi-weekly, which was 20,000 for the car, but then they added on $8,000 for whatever foolishness that they decided to add on that I did not understand at all. And then after all the interest, I was gonna pay like $45,000 for like a $20,000 car, guys. Like it was the stupidest thing. I didn't negotiate. I didn't understand the borrowing terms, and even though I'm like was proactively paying, right? Because the borrowing terms are important. I paid $15,000 the first year. Okay, thinking by the second year I'm free and clear of the debt, but they took all of the money I paid and put it towards the interest. That was the borrowing terms. It's an open loan, you can pay it off whenever, but if you just send payments in, they just go to interest first, and they don't put it towards what you actually thought you're putting it to unless you call and tell them, hey, put this towards my principal. Okay, poorly negotiated debt and borrowing terms cause huge leaks. That was a $15,000 leak for me, which I think I ended up putting like 33K into that car. Okay, ridiculous. So anyways, that's something to keep in mind. I'm telling you guys, because I made stupid mistakes when I was younger. I didn't know what I was doing, right? So you need to be aware of these things. Okay, knowledge check. Which of the following is not a smart fee reduction strategy? Is it switching to low fee ETFs? Is it asking your bank to reduce management fees? Is it ignoring your investment statements? Or is it considering a robo-advisor? Which of the following is not a smart fee reduction strategy? Let me see. What do y'all think? Also, I'm a big Rick and Morty fan. Don't mind my Rick mug. Okay, we got C. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Rosa says C. I know this one's a little bit more of a tough one, guys. I'm testing your knowledge. Teacher Ty in the building, guys. B. Okay, we got 2 C's and a B. Anyone else? We'll take one more response. Vincent says B. Okay, let us see. Oh, Francois says D. Okay, let's see. Let us see what the right answer is. Now the answer is C. It's not smart to ignore your investment statements. Everything else is great. You consider a robot advisor, it can save you on fees. You switch to low fee ETF, it says low fee, can be great. Okay, asking your bank to reduce management fees can be great. But if you're ignoring your investment statements, so they're telling you what's happening in your investments and you're not paying attention to it, you could be paying higher fees and not even know it. Okay, so congratulations to my friends that said C. You guys got the right answer. And everyone else, better luck next time. Okay, but this is why we do the knowledge checks, because I actually want to make sure that if something is not necessarily aligned, or like certain things are not didn't really stick, we can clarify. Okay, so this is not a smart fee reducing strategy, is to ignore your investment statements. Okay, when you get those things, look at them and really pay attention to what's going on inside of them. Okay, I believe this is we have two more knowledge checks. Okay, so what type of insurance offers broader protection at a lower cost? Is it life insurance? Is it health insurance? Is it umbrella insurance? Or is it travel insurance? Which one of these ones? So Rosa says C. Okay, Rewind says C. Deb says C. Okay, Larianne says C. Okay, let's see. Francois says C. Oh my gosh, this is the most C's I've seen. The answer is C. Great job, guys. The umbrella insurance. Okay, so if it is, you have your baseline insurance and you need a little bit more, umbrella can be wonderful. Okay, something to look into. Knowledge check. Why is strategy more powerful than struggle in financial planning? Is it because it requires less paperwork? Is it because it focuses on earning more only? Is it because it builds sustainable wealth with less stress? Or is it because it avoids budgeting altogether? A little bit more of it. Yeah, see, it builds sustainable wealth with less stress. How do you ask your bank to reduce management fees? Oh, that's a great question. You literally go in and you ask them, hey, how can I pay less fees? And you go to different banks and you say, how can I pay less fees? And then if the bank says they're not going to lower your fees, you go to somewhere else that has better fees for you. All right, that's how you ask your bank to reduce your management fees. If your bank doesn't want to work with you, I mean, one way a lot of them say you have to have a minimum amount of money in that account, which I don't really like because they just want to use your money. So sometimes you got to go somewhere else. But anyone we'll continue this. I want to see more answers for this one. This is this last knowledge check, guys. Last one for the night. So why is strategy more powerful than struggle in financial planning? Less paperwork, focuses on earning more only, builds sustainable wealth with less stress, or it avoids budgeting altogether. We got C. We got another C. Anyone else like to answer? We got C. We got C. Okay, wow, got a lot of C's. I think you guys were paying attention. This is great. So yes, it builds sustainable wealth with less stress. Okay, when we can see the future, we can plan for things. It's our roadmap, guys. This is why I taught the roadmap framework. You could use it in every aspect of life. And the WOOP planning, like the book, the goal setting book that I gave you guys already, which I'm actually like, it's kind of wild. I'm giving you guys like full on course. Like the goal setting book that I gave you guys has the roadmap and the WOOP planning. So when you could see the future, it's easier to plan, have less stress. Like you got that giraffe vision, you know, the watering hole is over there. You're just going to steadily walk in that direction. Life is but a dream. Okay. So that's what we want to have happen. So today you learn about the 4 hidden leaks. Okay. You learn about the ignorance tax. Hey, if you don't know, you don't pay attention, you're getting taxed on that. All right. You learn about the MITM mindset. All of you are millionaires in the making. I want to see you rich. Okay. I would, if one person from this group becomes very wealthy, I will be very happy. Okay, but I want to see everyone in this group become very wealthy. That's my that will bring me so much joy. Okay, so you guys learned about the MITM mindset, and you learned about real success from Sophia and Ethan. So now you know better. It's time to grow better, guys. Okay. One last thing that I do want to say. I'm gonna start saying this a little more often. This is the last week. If you haven't already joined the Money Mastery Dash to master your cash in 5 days or less, this is the last week that you're gonna be able to join at the current price rate. It is gonna be jumping up to $200 as of April 1st. Okay. So right now, you guys can go moneymasterydash.com. You can sign up. We can set up our sessions. It's really, we're trying to condense it in 5 days, trying to make a lot of things happen in those 5 days. So we don't want to just be, we don't want to take too much time with it. That's why it's a dash. But you guys have about a week before it's going to increase to 200. Anyone that gets in, and when it doesn't, I'm sorry, guys. I've I've been keeping it low for a very long time and reminding everyone about it. All right. So that pretty much wraps up today's presentation. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, or even some things that y'all would like to me to talk about in future sessions or cover? So let's start with questions first. Does anyone have any questions about today's session? Okay, I guess I did a great job. So no questions about today's session. So is there any topics? Because guys, I'm trying to map out April and May and make it really impactful for you guys. So is there any topics that you're interested in me covering? And maybe why would you like me to cover those topics? Okay, stocks and crypto. Anyone else interested in stocks and crypto? Just drop a one in the chat if you guys want to know about. Oh, we have umbrella insurance. Okay, you want me to talk more about umbrella insurance? We got bonds. Okay, so we got stock, crypto, and bonds. So you guys want to? It's actually wild. April was gonna be more of a month talking about investments. That's why we did the archetype the other week. But I wanted to prep you guys for investments. So that's awesome. Stocks, crypto, bonds. Talk a bit about umbrella insurance, how to go about it, how to find it. All right. Is there anything else you guys are interested in? Because we'll make it happen. We'll make all of it a reality. I think this is probably like one of the few opportunities where you guys get to kind of build the course that you want, and it's for free. Like I don't know where else you could tell someone I want to learn about all this stuff and it's free. Damn, like this is crazy. We got real estate investments. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, real estate investments. All right, and I have some folks in mind that I think we'll probably bring in to also help enhance the sessions. We're gonna have some guests in the next few presentations and whatnot. But this is great. This is great. Okay, so I guess with that being said, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys are here. Remember for next week, it's gonna be a dope one next week. Remember to invite some people out. Tell them tell them about being in these sessions, that you're getting a lot of value out of them. I will send out a message like I did before, just saying like what was the main thing you guys got from this session, what stuck out the most. Those are really helpful also. um but thank you. Like this is nothing without you guys. So I'm just very grateful to be able to share this time with all of you. And I hope that you have a great rest of your evening. We ended early today, so this is good. And I will see y'all's next week. So stay blessed by the best. Peace. You're very welcome. You're very welcome.